Part of why I'm starting to like making speed paint so much is I've started to vary my artistic process a lot compared to how I grew up drawing. From like preteen age to the past year or so, I was taught that digital art worked a specific way. Sketch, line art, color, background and any effects you might have, and then you're done, right? Well, I found this approach stifled me. It might work for you, and that's great, but I feel like when I do things this way, my line art loses a lot of the weight and texture it had as a sketch. That, and this will come up fairly often since it impacts my every waking moment, I'm disabled. My joints have started to hurt more often, and I have really bad motor skills, so my hands are bad at precise movements. So I thought to take a shot in the dark and stop being so clean with my art. Instead of expecting to make clean lines in single strokes, I tend to carve the line art out more, in a sense. Erase at and redraw parts of a sketch until it looks more clean. This helps me focus more on shape and form, plus it hurts less, and I feel more satisfied with it. I don't even remember when I started to lean more into this technique. I know I experimented with it a lot over the past few years, specifically with one-layer drawing. I tend to make more use of layers now though. Maybe I'll try one layer again, I kinda have to be in a mood. In general, I think a key to making art is to discover what workflow will help you feel like you're not agonizing to create the thing that you're making. I felt less burnt out by figuring out what's comfortable for me with each piece I draw. Some days I actually feel like I'm willing to approach line art. Some I'd rather stick to using the lasso tool for literally every part of the process. Whatever makes me happy and doesn't feel like I'm getting needles shoved in my brain and body to create. I've also found having a creative outlet where I'm allowed to not be good has helped me a lot. Actually, you know what? We're changing what type of video this is for a second. I got a tripod recently and realized it's just big enough to make a makeshift top-down camera angle, so I recorded footage of me flipping through a journal of mine that's applicable to this topic. You're getting a journal flip through now. Within the last month, I learned about the concept of a junk journal, and it really satiated my creative urges. Sometimes I just want to make things that are fun to look at without having to worry about being good. And while you can just doodle for fun, sometimes I don't even want to draw at all, so this is a good compromise. I basically toss in anything that I find, either around the house or just out in the wild, and stick it in here. I also stick in keepsakes that I have no place for, like thank you cards from small businesses or stickers. I found this one on the floor of a furry convention. If this is someone's persona, that's awesome. I like it a lot as a reflection of the world around me. It's fun to make, and I like collages full of random colorful patterns and text, so I can make anything look good with enough pieces on a page. Old sticky note doodles, envelopes for bills, pieces of scratch cards. I'm especially excited to get to do more journal pages when on trips. I'm gonna see my partner in real life for the second time in a few months, so now I can collect a bunch of paper keepsakes to glue into this book when I get home. Isn't that so cool? You can literally make anything. Like, I think we need to talk about that fact more often. We can literally make anything. Sure, you might not meet the standards you want with what you make, but isn't it cool that you made anything at all? Keep doing that. I want you personally to keep creating and not be deterred by the idea of good or bad art. You'll never please everyone, so you should focus on what makes yourself the happiest. By the way, I'm using the end of this video to mention that I'm finally deciding to set up Ko-Fi memberships. So far, it's just one really small tier for if you want to help pitch in like $1 or $2, but you don't get any rewards, and for a bit more, you can get behind-the-scenes peeks at what I'm working on. I have a couple of bigger video projects on the back burner, so this will be a good incentive for me to actually work on those projects if other people are looking forward to them. So check that out if you're interested. And also, before I finish up, at the time of writing this, my friend Orion could really use some help affording a new phone, so I'm going to plug his Ko-Fi in the description too. Okay, I still don't know how to do an outro. Goodbye!